We are here at Donald Trump's rally, as you can see, here in Murfreesboro, Illinois. And we're with a delegation of
President Donald Trump,
from
the only president that has done anything for our country, for all men, black, white, Mexican, Asian, everybody. President Trump.
We're at a rally here in Murfreesboro, Illinois. Obviously, some people don't want the stories of what's happening to real-world Americans to be told. And we want to make sure the real story of what's happening to hard-working Americans is told. Donald Trump's traveling the country saying that jobs are pouring back. He's saying the economy is booming, that wages are going up. But the living reality of workers is very different. These are workers who work at Harley Davidson, they work at Honeywell, they work at GM, yet they have lost their jobs.
Donald Trump is the only person that is stopping the offshoring.
Oh, really? Oh, wait, hey, can I interview you?
Yeah, you certainly
Okay, so Dina, come over. This is great. Okay, so let me, would you mind listening? Oh, you put the sign down so we can see your face.
Sign down.
You want to cover your face?
Sign down. Yeah, I do. I want Donald Trump's face on the front.
Well, that's not really an interview then. But we'd love to have a conversation with you.
I'm a coal miner.
We'd love to have it. Yeah. No. You said. I'm sorry. You just said Donald Trump's stopping offshoring.
He is.
Okay. So how do you know that?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
How do I not know that? What's he brought back to our country?
Well, where did my jobs go?
Look at the stock market,
we don't know.
man.
So
the stock market is at record numbers.
It's actually tanking.
He's brought trillions.
But really quick, so let me tell you, let Dina, just in the spirit of democratic dialogue, so Dina, tell us a little bit about your story and what you would like to share with this gentleman about your experience, your life.
Yeah, I worked at AT&T for 22 and a half years.
What year were you laid off?
Please let her
Let me finish. The trainers were sent to the Philippines to train people to do customer service. 30 days later, the CEO of AT&T Mobility came and told us we no longer have jobs. He closed the center, they sold the building, even the trainers were surplused. The Philippines took our jobs, so don't tell me they were brought back.
And so Dina, after you lost your job, how did you rebound, and how much were you making?
I was making $22.50 an hour. Okay. I was 60 years old, never collected unemployment. Then I had to collect unemployment, and I got a minimum wage job.
Who was the president then, man?
That was starting in 2014, and I started making
2014 under Barack Obama.
That's a good point. That's a good point. No, that's an excellent point, brother.
Sure is.
But here's the problem. AT&T has gotten $900 billion in federal contracts under the Trump administration. Over 7,000 people this year alone laid off. So do you think our taxpayer dollars should go to companies like AT&T that are shipping jobs overseas? That's a simple question. Because that's why we're here. No American tax dollars for companies that ship jobs overseas. You can agree with that.
AT&T isn't just overseas.
No, but do you agree with that principle?
Employs hundreds of thousands of Americans.
No, I'm saying, but should our money go to companies that offshore American jobs?
It's been going on for how long? And Donald
So
Trump
you don't
is the
believe
only
that?
person that is taking steps
Do you think
to bring the jobs back?
So the
And
president,
you guys don't want to see it. You just want to keep crying and howling. Oh, it happened in 2014, and it wasn't under Donald Trump, but it's all his fault.
But it's still
but 7,000 layoffs, and the president could stop it right now with the stroke of the pen. He signed 100 executive orders. And you're right, Barack Obama did not sign an executive order to stop
Obama didn't
offshoring.
do anything.
Hey, please stop. No. But here's the thing. That's right, President Obama did not. I'll give that to you. But Donald Trump has yet to sign an executive order to say no tax dollars for companies that ship jobs. Shouldn't he do that? Are you guys with us? I want Obama to do it. He didn't.
My job was saved because of President Trump. I'm a coal miner.
Yeah.
Thousands of my friends got laid off. I was one of the last coal miners. I totally understand why you're mad if your company went to another country, and because of the cheap labor or whatever.
We want everyone to have a job back.
Exactly.
I'm glad you got your job back, and we want to make sure people like Tommy Wallaco gets his job back. And so Tommy worked at the GM plant in Lordstown, Ohio for a decade. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what happened at GM Lordstown? When were you laid off?
I was laid off the same day President Trump got inaugurated. Okay, so anyways, General Motors is very, very important to me. My dad retired 42 years out there, and I worked there 9 years. I met my fiance out there. Well, the day that President Trump was inaugurated was my last day of work. I was thinking in my head, you know, this is probably going to just be a little layoff. You know, we're going to be back.
Don't push me, guys.
2 years later, almost 2 years later, I'm still laid off work. But the main thing is, I went to a President Trump rally in Youngstown, Ohio.
You were a supporter, a Trump supporter.
Yes, I'm a Trump supporter that President Trump said, you know, don't sell your homes. Jobs are going to be rolling back in. Steel mills are going to be opened up that are closed. And everything he was saying, I literally was like, yeah, you know, I felt it. I believed in it. But guess what? 2 years later, I've watched General Motors close third shift down, second shift down, Magnus Seating close third and second shift down. I've watched Kmart close, Sears close, Toys R Us close, all in my area. I've watched so much job loss. And I'm here today not to fight with you guys, to say, come on, President Trump, you know, we need your help. We need your help in our community because our community is in shambles. We have job loss. We have the fourth highest unemployment rate in the whole state of Ohio, Trumbull County. You know, we're here to ask for help. We're here to say,
so Tommy,
Trump, we know
you were
have
laid
the
off.
power.
You were laid off, and your wife also worked at GM. She was laid off. So what's it like? I mean, what is she doing now, and what's it like making ends meet?
We both went from having great union jobs to me just graduated and I got a diesel technician degree and I got a CDL. Okay, so I went back to school. I did what I knew I had to do.
There's thousands of truck jobs available.
Okay,
you just
but
said
guess
you don't
what?
want to leave Ohio because you don't
please
want
be
to
respectful.
No,
please be respectful.
I don't want to leave Ohio because I
Tommy,
have a daughter that's 11 years old that I see every weekend.
Yeah, but that's your choice.
Anytime I talk to her about, anytime I try to talk to her, anytime I talk to
Tommy.
my daughter about transferring, she cries and she says she doesn't want me to leave. I bet you guys could relate to that, right?
We can, but you know what? I did it. I drove a semi for 10 years.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is it like?
So we went from
Right
being
now.
able. We went from being able.
What is
to,
your wife doing?
She is working at Cracker Barrel, making $4.15 an hour.
What was she
waitressing.
making before?
$20 an hour. I was making
making how much?
$4.15 plus tips an hour at Cracker Barrel. She's a waitress.
Okay.
Okay. So you know, and I got dozens of applications in. I'm waiting for a phone call. I put the footwork in. I went to school. I got the degrees. I put the applications in, and I'm still waiting.
What was the message you delivered to the Trump campaign?
We let them know that what was going on in our community. We let them know that there's 3,000 of us UAW auto workers, plus a trickle effect, another 7 to 10,000 other people affected right now. And we believe that you guys have the power to be able to do something. We're hoping. You're the president of the United States. We're hoping that you can help our community.
And have you gotten a response? Have you gotten a response from the Trump administration or from Brad Pascarelli?
Not yet. No, we haven't.
And that's why you're here. Is that not right?
Yeah, we're here to say, hey, you told us that you were going to communicate what we said to you to President Trump. You talk to him on a daily basis, and we haven't heard anything yet, and we're waiting. The email address that we gave you is still the same. I promise you, this is a way for me to have a platform to say, listen, our community is in shambles and we need help.
Trump is the one that's going to help you.
Why do you think I'm here?
I'm very impressed.
That's
that you're
why
here.
I'm here.
And you know what? Taking your hat tells me that I'm impressed that you are a man of your word.
Yeah, I am. I am a man of my word.
I am very impressed.
Hey,
that is cool.
Let's hug it out. Thank you, man.
That's cool, man. That's very cool.
We are here in Murfreesboro, Illinois, and having some amazing conversations with people from all over the Midwest about the state of the economy. We had a coal miner who said, man, things are great for his family, and we're so happy that that's true. And then we had some other random protesters who didn't make a lot of sense. But that being said, very healthy, energetic debate, nothing violent. It's actually constructive conversation between the folks who are here, who traveled to be here with Good Jobs Nation, and the thousands of Trump supporters that are here.